A new Switch 2 owner lost over 1,000 hours of progress and 20 years of Pokemon after a data transfer wiped their Scarlet save file. The Reddit user explained that the transfer process appeared successful, but Scarlet launched as if it were a new game, erasing their long-standing collection. The player claims they had Pokemon transferred all the way back from the Game Boy Advance era, including beloved mons from Leaf Green and Diamond. Making things worse, the original save also vanished from their old Switch, leaving no way to recover it. So a word of warning to other Switch 2 users, be sure you back up your data.
I messed up big. Went behind my wife's back, racked up $26K in credit card debt in 4 months. Pregnant wife, I should say, and now she's filing for divorce.
What did you jack up 26K on?
Pokemon cards.
Step off! Step out! Shit! They jumping me! They jumping me!
Deliver us.
Me, big G-L-O-N-G-L-E.
gosh, they're running. If they're running, I'm running. I'm not getting in that. No fucking way, dude. I am not doing that. Holy shit.
Bro, I really made people's monthly salary again just by using bots on Walmart to get all of this journey together. I have multiple accounts. As soon as they drop, I checked out tons of units. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it to this one guy. He streams on Whatnot. He's going to buy everything, and then he's going to flip it to his viewers per pack. And we both make money. I made my money. He made his money. Everybody eats, man.
Hob, you catch and restock, but a scalper buys out the whole machine. He literally bought every product and said no when I asked for one product.
It's gonna be so real. I have seen better walls in PS2 games. Why? Why is it a JPEG? I'm not joking. This game was made in 2005. Let's take a look at the textures. Look at the floor textures. Looks nicer than this era. Granted, the polygons are a little meh, but come on. The textures are literally better in a game from 2005. Hey, listen, at the very least, the people of Lumio City don't have to worry about break-ins, considering every window that you see is just a painted-on texture like it's in fucking Looney Tunes! And I know what you're saying. Oh, you're just being mean, because, everyone's been shitting on this generation of games, and blah 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 blah. Dude. What is your draw distance? What is the draw distance? Why is it doing that? That's like 2 feet away from me. Why? I know what you're saying. It might be a little bit harsh, but bad textures. My argument isn't even that the game is bad. My argument is the fact that for something that is something that's being released in 2025 should not have problems like this when running very basic things. Does that make sense? Like, if I spent real, actual money on this game, I'd be pretty upset about it. Oh, that's great. That's good shit. That's great shit. He's just phasing in and out of reality.
Crazy made it, where you at?
So I'm playing Legend ZA, right? And how is it taking me like 10 hours just to get through the tutorial portion? I thought we learned with Ultra Sun and Moon that I do not need my handheld to play the goddamn games. It's actually insane. Why is nobody talking about this, by the way? It's so goddamn annoying. I just want to play with my mods, bro. I don't care about the story.
crazy. The balcony of that window is just the texture. So is the windows. It's just flat. They didn't like actually like extend it. Dude, what is this transition? It feels like I'm playing an alpha version. It's like from a distance, it looks like it should be sticking out, and then you come up to it and inspect it, and it's just a wallpaper. This whole town, as advanced as it is, covers its entire buildings with wallpaper. Those windows aren't even see-through, they're just blue. Yo.
So, Pokemon just got themselves into some controversy. The first reason is because if you want to buy Pokemon Legends EA with the Switch 2 edition upgrade and buy the DLC, it will be $100. Back in the day, you could buy a Pokemon game for $40 and get the full game. No DLCs needed. The second reason is because Pokemon Legends EA is a Kalos game, and if you want the Kalos starters with their Mega Evolutions, you will need Nintendo Switch Online. And you don't just need Nintendo Switch Online, you need to play in Ranked Battles Season 1, 2, and 3. I don't want to do that. You used to be able to just play through the games, and through the storyline you would get your Mega Stone. And we have another reason. Pokemon revealed paid DLC for the game before it's even out. Normally we buy the game, play for a couple months, and then it gets kind of boring, and then they drop a DLC and we get all hyped again. Now they're basically showing us, hey guys, if you buy the game but you don't want to get this, you're not getting the full game. And we're not done with the controversy. If you take a Pokemon and bring it into Pokemon Home and then into Legends EA, you cannot bring it back to another game ever. And with that, Pokemon that originate in Legends EA will also not be able to ever be brought into other games.
Whatever you do, do not buy this Pokemon Switch 2 ZA bundle.
So here's a Switch, fresh out the pack, nothing on it yet. I just got it. I plug it into the wall. And nothing. This is straight from Nintendo. This is the Nintendo cord. Plug it into my computer. Well, what do you know? That is crazy, bro. 6 hours, $500, and it won't even work with a plug. You know what's even better? The console don't even work. Plugged in. No charge. No charge. You gotta be kidding me, bro. $500. And then you wonder why people pirate everything. That's why they're using emulators. $500 for Pikachu.
What did I just activate?
You okay?
I'm good, bro. You geeking, bro. I'm good.
Bro.
Get hold of me. I'm good, bro.
Bro. Are you crying, bro?
No, bro. I'm good, bro.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Legends ZA is trash, and here's why. Very first thing people will notice is that Lumio City, the entire map itself, is incredibly small. Compared to entire regions like in Scarlet and Violet, it is honestly just laughable. In these wild zones they incorporated that basically only have maybe 10, 11 Pokemon in them do not make up for it. Even worse are the buildings and architecture of the landscape are just so flat. They are literally comparable to Sonic Adventure Battle 2 that came out on the GameCube 20 years ago. Also can't even enter buildings anymore. Every single shop and boutique is basically just a menu. All the NPCs are completely forgettable after 5 seconds, or basically copy pasted all over the place, and of course there's no voice acting. The new battle system they tried to implement feels half-cocked. Targeting system is abrasive and interrupting, and there feels like there's absolutely no strategy to the fights anymore. No, it's not a mainline game, but even in comparison to Legends Arceus, it feels like a fraction of the gameplay. Nintendo is charging $60 for it when it really just feels like a $20 fan-made game that you play on Steam one weekend. Reportedly only had a $13 million budget, when Nintendo's net profit last year was over $3 billion. No, I'm not the only person that feels this way because the 1-star reviews are rolling in.
Pokemon! What is this? What are Pokemon games even about anymore? I thought things were crazy when I found out the Pokemon in game can blow you up! The things that I've seen are way worse! I'm upset. Giving my partner's Pokeball a little squeeze helps. What the hell? Could have said her Pokeball, but she said her partner's. She is not talking about Pokemon! Hey, for water type moves, do you think Pokemon use their sweat or other bodily fluids? Come again? What did this guy just say? You know you're wildin' when your Pokemon hits you with this face, bro. Come on, gang. I'm sick and tired of this life. I just want to smell Pokemon. Nah. Get this guy out of here. If I run into this guy in game, I'm hitting him with the meanest flamethrower, bro. I don't care, bro. If I can't do it, I'm gonna break the game or something. Kneel down before me. My mom always says that to my dad. Where your mom's at? Honestly, I've had an epiphany. I'm not even mad at all this dialogue. Especially when it comes to these ladies, they be glazing me like crazy. But yeah, what I realized is something we've all forgotten. Their name is Game Freak for...
So I was playing Pokemon Legends ZA. So this player is trying to get his rank up match to rank E against Canary. For those that have gone to that point in the game, you have to do a bunch of different quizzes in order to be able to progress. And as you're going to see right here, he's going to load into the game, and all the other NPCs that are participating in the same quiz to be able to fight her, he's trying to do so too. As you can see though, all of a sudden his game is transitioning from nighttime all the way to daytime. But what's happening here is while he's about to move his game in order to continue his quest to rank up to rank E, he is unable to move because the game is glitched, and it's basically fast forwarding time, switching between day and night.
In terms of strictly like design wise, that shit's lit. Yo, can someone get this for alligator off my team?
These niggas out here snitching. They with the trash bag off the...
Whoever designed the new Mega Evolutions for Pokemon Legends ZA needs to be stopped. Cause not only did they ruin the reputation of some Pokemon forever, I think they did it on purpose. And it's unfortunately really funny. See, people used to love Mega Evolutions back in the day, cause it was one of the only ways that underappreciated Pokemon could be given the boost they needed. So when Pokemon Zaza announced they'd be bringing the mechanic back for the first time in like 12 years, people were really hype about it. But now that the game's actually out and all the new Megas have been revealed, I'm convinced that Nintendo sabotaged some of these designs on purpose. Cause there's no way that the company who did a whole PR campaign for Malamar and dropped incredible new designs for Pokemon like Frostlass and Drampa is the same company that turned Feraligatr into Skippity Toilet and gave Starmie legs. It's insane. Like, I don't know what these Pokemon could have done to make Nintendo hate them this much, but making these designs official is foul.
Can we please talk about Mega Zygarde for a second? Oh, look at the baby. Now look at the big baby.
You want to get your shit pushed in?
Like, whose great idea was it to strap a fucking orbital cannon to this man? Zygarde, I don't like that rock. What the fuck? Good boy. I'm about to whoop some people's ass. Bro's like your kid that has a little bit of autism but won't leave you. I love you, Papa. Bro's Mega Move feels like Joji's new song. Ice cream cone, kill him! Bacon bird. Tornado! No, I have no one to face this thing. She hurt you, Papa. She gave me a boo-boo, Zygarde. What are you gonna do? Send this bitch back to hell! This man is the devil himself. Oh my god, Alakazam. Skadoodle, skadoodle. Your dick is now a noodle. Who's that Pokemon? Just a giant fairy fucking deer I have. Whoop his fucking ass! I love having just legendary teams. Hey, who's that on your team? Oh, just, you know, a fucking death bird. You know, no biggie. I mean, even in dog form, this man is menacing. Evil lizard, kill it. Okay, Papa. Oh, Lucario. I don't know if I can beat this man. Time to Mega Evolve. Oh yeah, giant orbital cannon. Zygarde, what are you doing? Blast! Like, I just used his ultimate move for the dumbest fucking shit. Need those crystals up there, my man. Ah, yeah, appreciate you. Yep, thank you. I think I got enough. All right, I'm about to head out. Peace out, guys.
Pokemon Legends ZA has finally released, and is it worth it? Is it worth being the most expensive Pokemon game ever made? Well, I pushed myself to finish the game, and I can say pretty confidently, no, obviously not. We all knew it wouldn't be. Game Freak can't make a game worth $40, let alone the $550, yes, the number keeps going up, that the game actually cost to get the complete product. And even ignoring the price, the game is a disappointment in so many ways. It was so funny hearing people speculate. Sure, the game only takes place in one city, but this is France we're talking about, which has catacombs, so I bet there's a huge underground area like Tears of the Kingdom. Underground area, you can't even go in the buildings in a city. You're expecting above and beyond when Game Freak can't even do the bare minimum. Game Freak's motto is to underpromise and still underdeliver. A small map taking place in a single location with no variety in that one area isn't even complete. I don't consider a city complete when you can't go in the buildings. But enough of that. I'm skipping ahead a bit. We'll have plenty of time to talk about the world. I just want to illustrate to you that this is prevalent throughout the entire game. It's something that you already expect to be kind of underwhelming, and it's somehow worse than that. Not that the game's all bad. I mean, just look at this Mareep. Look at him jump around. Doesn't it bring you joy? It just makes me smile. And they did try a new combat system, and Game Freak hasn't tried something new in decades. So you gotta at least give them some props for that. And the collect them all aspect has been greatly improved. You no longer have to catch 700 Starly to complete the Pokédex, which makes collecting them all something actually fun and interesting to do. That's all I got for the positives. If you were expecting a unbiased review where we really go over the pros and the cons, you came to the wrong place. Maybe if the game was $40 and DLC wasn't announced before the game even came out. If you didn't need Nintendo Online and were forced to play a ranked mode that I promise you will be terrible to unlock content that is already in the game, maybe I'd be a little more charitable. Believe it or not, I wanted to like this game. I love Pokemon. I've played every Pokemon game, and I've really only disliked one of them. And as much as the money-grubbing stuff bothers me, I didn't really interact with any of it. I'm not buying the DLC. I played the Switch 1 version of the game, and I don't have Nintendo Online. So I gave it a real honest try to like it, and I did at first. But the more I played the game, the more I grew to hate it. The more tired I am of being disappointed by everything Game Freak makes. From a lack of ambition, from a lack of effort, it's just lacking. Everything they make is lacking. Every time you make a video criticizing Nintendo or Pokemon, there are always people being like, oh, it's the Nintendo fanboys, the Pokemon fanboys, they're gonna get you. These aren't fans. A fan of something loves it. If you love Pokemon, why are you okay with it being dumpstered on constantly? I'm sick and tired of a billion-dollar franchise being treated like it's made by some small indie company while they charge us as much as they possibly can for what is supposed to be a spin-off. $70 game, $30 DLC, $20 Switch Online, $450 console just to play the full game and have it run properly. But that's enough preamble. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and it's time to give you 10,000 reasons why this game isn't worth $70, it's not worth $80, and it's definitely not worth $500 to get the full experience. In fact, by the end of this, I'd be surprised if you wanted to play it for free. Let's talk about the world first. Something that people were rightfully concerned about, that the entire map is just one city. And all of your fears have been realized, and probably worse, because it's a city where all the doors are painted on. Aside from a handful of story locations and some battle cafes, which are basically empty, you cannot enter any buildings, not even stores. You remember every other video game ever made? You enter a store, you talk to the counter, you buy some stuff, a couple NPCs are around, maybe they have useful information, maybe give you an item, maybe add a little flavor to the world. Nope, nothing. You get a menu. Modeling the inside of a building is far too much effort in a game that has one location. One! The game released over a decade ago with an entire region has a more believable city than the game that is only about this city. And I don't know what people were smoking to think the game would have catacombs. You get 2 underground areas. 2, which are just a series of hallways. Maybe it has some engaging puzzles, maybe platforming challenges, maybe a bunch of dangerous wild Pokemon you have to dodge past. No, nothing. A series of hallways you run through. There you go. There are those catacombs everyone was so excited about. It's just a sewer, you know, where this game belongs. So given the entire world is just the surface of one city, not including the insides of any of the buildings, what could possibly make exploring this world interesting? Nothing. The answer is nothing. They have done nothing to add variety to a single location. The city rooftops you explore from the beginning of the game is exactly the same as the one you're doing at the very end. There is no meaningful difference through any of it. You don't even even get new movement abilities. You get one. You know, in the last game, you could fly, you could climb, you could do all this cool stuff. Now, you get one midair jump, and you can only do it while falling. So it's not even like a double jump. That's it. So the whole game is just this, what you're seeing right now. Do you see what I'm saying? When the game is interesting for 3 hours, maybe, and then it gets real old real fast. But of course, the variety comes from the wild areas. The wild areas are sectioned off city blocks or parks where wild Pokemon can be caught and attack you. Actually, they can do that through the rest of the city too, but they're more common here. So surely there must be some variety there. No, there isn't. It's just more city blocks or a small park. That's the entire variety. The most different it gets is one wild area, just one, has some snow. Isn't that exciting? A regular game has you going from snowy mountaintop to swamp, to cave, to forest. What do you get in this? You get park or rooftop. That's the whole game. 20 hours. Park, rooftop. One sewer section. It's a joke. So the world itself is boring. But who cares? What about the things that you do in that world? Maybe that's cool. Of course not. You have your Ubisoft collectibles, like screws that you get for completing platforming challenges. And I'm using the term platforming really loosely, which you can use to get an EXP boost, maybe get resources faster, catch Pokemon easier, because the game wasn't easy enough already. You also have crystals all over that you have to make your Pokemon use moves on them to break them, which slows down the pacing of the game because you need to collect a whole lot of them to get some of the Mega Stones. I guess finding TMs is pretty cool, but in order for the finding to be fun, the exploring has to be fun, which exploring the exact same copy-pasted rooftop 500 times is not fun. And the funny thing is, I could forgive all of this if at least moving around was fun. But no, you get nothing. No bike, no roller skates, remember those? No riding Pokemon, nothing. Just run around and the worst double jump you've ever seen. Scarlet and Violet could get away with having a barren, empty world because at least it was fun to move around. You could run real fast and jump real high and fly. It was fun to move around. Here you get nothing, because if they gave you anything, you'd realize how small, uninteresting, and lame the world is. I mean, how could you have all these platforming challenges if you could jump and fly? Who wants to climb buildings? It's not like that's been in every game ever. Alright, so it's not fun to explore, not really anything cool to find. What about the side quests? Well, the game has a ton of side quests, at least 100, maybe more. But unsurprisingly, when there's that many of them, they're real bad. They're about as lazy as they could possibly get. There are only 3 side quests. It's Battle Guy, go walk over there, or show me Pokemon. And because it's a Game Freak, it is much worse than it sounds. It's watch a cutscene, Battle Guy, who has 3 Clefairy that know only Metronome, so it's impossible to lose, then watch another cutscene and get rewarded with basically nothing. And that's about half. Maybe half of the side quest is just battle person who has 1 Pokemon, maybe 2, impossible to lose, and get rewarded with nothing. It's money, which is worthless in this game. You get an insane amount of it, or it's a TM you don't need, or it's berries. End game missions. In fact, some of these side quests are post-game, and you get berries as the reward. And these are the better side quests. How about watch a cutscene, follow the Pokemon, watch another cutscene, follow them again, watch another cutscene, follow them again. And it's not like you're doing anything, you're just walking there. Maybe there's a jump, which all culminates into a battle with a singular wild Pokemon. Isn't that incredible? And these are multiple. There are multiple side quests that are just this. And then finally, a bunch of missions that are just, hey, do you have every color of Floette? Cool, good job, thumbs up. And I'd say those 3 things are like 90% of the side missions. And everything in between isn't better, it's worse. Like, how about just use a move on this stationary object? Good job, you did it. That was worth the multiple cutscenes. I keep emphasizing the cutscene part because these honestly wouldn't be that egregious if it wasn't for the constant pausing. You get 30 seconds of gameplay where you completely obliterate them and then 2 minutes of pauses. The best side quest is one I did in the very beginning, and it's just a go walk over there quest, but at least it's a sort of hidden area, and as a reward you get a shiny Mareep, and I love Mareep. That's the bar, by the way. The bar the rest of the quests can't meet. The expectations, they were just so low, and yet somehow too high. And that's the game world. Boring, lacks variety, nothing to see or find, not fun to traverse, and it's everything you should have expected and worse. Now, before we get to the gameplay, I want to talk about the story just a little bit. No spoilers yet, not that the game really has a story to spoil, but if you really don't want to hear anything about it, use the timestamps to skip this section. Now, you're a part of a crew of a couple dweebos, and the leader of your crew is in debt to a loan shark, and I'm talking a real loan shark. Your team leader likes to help people out around the city, helped one of the loan sharks, and as a reward, she got offered a loan to make a video advertisement for the hotel you guys stay at.